I want to help you guys use your graphical analysis application very effectively without having to switch a whole lot back and forth between apps and try to get things from one place to another. Okay, so if we launch the graphical analysis app, it starts up on this screen and it's saying, what do you want to do? It starts automatically with built-in sensors. We almost never use those, so if we touch the little green button up in the top left, we can say, actually what I really want to do is I want to do a manual entry. Okay, and what we notice is if I push and hold the X button here, then it pops up and it'll let me actually rename that column. So if I'm trying to enter data for length measured in centimeters, and then I want Y, which is actually say going to be time measured in seconds, I can do that. Okay, and once I've got those renamed, then it's just a matter of putting in the data that I need. If you just go ahead and record your data here, then you can copy and paste this data into the data tables in the lab sheet, or you can actually just take a screenshot of it and put it in. You can't actually export a picture of a data table, but you can take a screenshot of it. Okay, so if I'm trying to put this into a lab, I can say, okay, screenshot, which is the home button and the sleep button, okay, and I'll get that and it'll take a screenshot of it for me. And then I'm going to go to my lab in Notability that I have open, and I want to go ahead and I want to insert this data into my data table. Okay, now you can see I have a place where I've got a spot to record this data, but if I want, I can just say, well, let's put in that picture that I just took from my camera roll, and here it is, and I don't need that giant picture. I'm only interested in a little bit of it. So if I touch edit right here, then I am able to actually crop that picture with the edit tools. So we choose up here in the top, crop. Okay. And I can just go ahead and pull that over. I'm only interested in this much of the data table, say, and so done up here, and now it inserts that data table for me. I can drag it on top of that or beside it, but I can actually see my data there. Now I don't have to write it down and record it in the LabQuest. Okay, it all works out, and I only have to do things once. And now the cool thing is, I'm going to have this data stored in Graphical Analysis. So if I go back to Graphical Analysis, what I can see is, okay, yeah, there's my data table, but I'm going to have to collect this for a variety of different things. So if I go to my graph, okay, by touching the graph button up in the top, and I want to see one graph, okay, and then I can choose, do I want time on the vertical axis or on the horizontal axis, or what do I want? Okay, I get to pick what I want, and then if I push and hold right up here at the top of the graph, it'll give me the option to name it. And so I could say that this was pendulum length. Okay. Now, why is that of benefit? Well, it turns out if I do that, and then I don't want to touch the X button, I'm just going to touch outside of it. Okay, and then my graph is named that. If I do that up here, it changes the name from manual entry to manual entry with pendulum length, or at least there it goes. Okay, now that's of benefit because your iPad actually tracks all the data. So if you touch the little history button down here, it pops up and it shows me all the different datas I've collected, and if I name it, then it tells me what I'm looking at. Okay, so if I need to go back and see something I've done before, I can do that. Otherwise, I got to figure out what it was based on the date and time it was collected. Okay, and I have lots and lots and lots of these in here, stuff all the way from last year. So if you want to get rid of them, it's just like getting rid of anything on your iPad. You push and hold it, then you can just start pushing the X's and they go away.